Today's video is slightly different than some of the other content that I normally post, but we're going to be talking about dating today. Not in a here's what you should do type of a way. I am not a dating coach, I'm not a dating guru, would never claim to be that. But this video is just more so talking about how I'm approaching dating and what that looks like for me right now. Because it's different than what I used to do, and so let's just get on into it. One of the things that I'm doing differently this year is meeting people as they are, no expectations, just curiosity. I'm not walking into dates with like a mental checklist of who someone could be for me. I do have non-negotiables, and they're very reasonable. Things like emotional availability, communication skills, shared values, and just a basic level of life stability. But once those boxes are checked, I'm not auditioning them for a future role in my life. I'm just simply asking, do we enjoy each other? Is conversation easy? Do I feel comfortable being myself? Do I want to hang out with this person again? That's it. Dating doesn't need to be heavier than that in the beginning. Curiosity first, and then let it ride out after that. The second thing I'm doing differently is letting things unfold naturally. I'm not trying to define things too early anymore. Instead of asking, what is this after a few dates? I'm more so just asking, again, do I want to keep spending time with you? Because the way I'm approaching dating is, even if I'm not, for me, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. But if it doesn't that person end up being that person, worst case scenario, we can be friends at least. And I do believe that there is someone out there for everyone. So I might not be your person, but maybe it's my best friend who's single and I can link you two together. So I always want to approach things in that sort of a way where, hey, if we're not a good match for a long-term relationship, we can still be friends, associates, something cordial, and let's keep in touch. But that's it. Connection builds or it doesn't, and I'm just letting things reveal themselves over time. That's fine with me. I'd rather not force a label or direction before it's earned. The third thing that I'm doing differently is honest conversations from the start, but with a caveat. So when I was scripting this out, it's not like I was duplicitous before, like I wasn't being honest in conversations before, but it's more so understanding that that's not the end of it. Sure, when it comes to honest conversation, you're asking, what are you looking for right now? What does your life actually look like? What do you have the capacity for, emotionally, mentally, time-wise? And then I'm offering that information in return, because the clarity, at least at that point, prevents confusion later. But why I say it's not the end-all, be-all, talk is cheap. People, there's been so many dates that I've been on, their profile, I literally screenshot the profile because it says they want a long-term relationship. But then when we go on a couple of dates, they're doing some things. I'm like, you just want a friends with benefits based on what you're doing. You're inviting me to your house on the first date. You're trying to get to my house on the first date. This isn't long-term dating behavior. So I actually have something else for 4, but I'm going to skip that and go down to the 5th thing that I'm doing differently. And that's believing who people show me that they are. Because again, talk is cheap. People can say things all day, but how they show up, believe them the first time. Not just their words, but their patterns and their actions. If someone is inconsistent, unavailable, or unclear, that's it. That's the information. You don't need to send a message asking for clarity or closure. You don't need to do any of that, because they are telling you exactly who they are by their actions. I'm also, in conjunction with that, I'm no longer filling the gaps with grace, patience, or maybe they're just busy. Because if they wanted to, they would. Just like anything that I want to do. If there's something that I really want to do, I will move everything in my calendar to make it work if I really, really wanted to do it. And so that's the same thing with any other adult. If they truly wanted to hang out with you, if they truly wanted to be with you, they would do that. Same thing when it comes to communication. Me and my best friend talk every single day. It doesn't take maybe 10 seconds to send a quick message and just say, hi, been thinking about you all day. Hope all is well. Hope you're having a great day. It's not this monumental effort to text someone and to communicate with someone. So depending on your communication and what you want and what you don't want, again, when people are showing you who they are, believe them the first time, and then don't try and wash over or explain away. Just let that be information, do with it what you will, and move from there. So now I'm actually going to go back to the fourth one. The fourth thing that I'm doing differently is I want to make sure as early as possible, just so that way I'm not wasting anyone's time, is that we're equally yoked. And I don't mean that in a religious sense, but I think that quote just encapsulate the idea really well. But I'm talking about alignment and effort and like emotional maturity. Does this person have what I have? Are they self-aware? Do they have emotional regulation, emotional intelligence? Are they healed? If they have trauma or baggage from previous relationships, I'm not trying to help you haul that. Like, you really need to unpack that and figure out what you need to do before entering into any relationship. Also, just healthy communication styles. Are you able to communicate, or are you just a ghoster where if you don't get your way, you just disappear and that's it? We don't need to be in the exact same place in life, but we should be moving with similar intentions at the very least. I'm not here to teach someone how to show up. Again, if they really wanted to, they would. But I also expect, okay, if I have a job, you have a job. If, just making sure, again, equally yoked, we're pooling our resources together so that way we can live a better life together. So that's all I'll say on that, because the internet will have plenty enough to say for itself. And that leads me to the sixth thing that I'm doing differently is no more dating for potential. If you ever seen the meme, I'm no longer dating for potential, you have to be potential. That is where I'm at this point. Potential is seductive. It's also dangerous. I'm not falling in love with someone could be if they healed or tried harder or wanted more. I'm dating or I'm talking to the person they are right now. I am the person, I will have big dreams for different, as I'm talking with people and learning more about their passions and their wants and needs, I'll start just building a life in my head for them, saying, oh my God, if you did this, this, and this, you could do this, you could do that. And if they aren't thinking that same way, I can want the world for them. But if the person doesn't want it, then it doesn't mean anything. So understanding that they have to be the ones in control of their life and see potential for themselves as an individual. I'm not even talking about a relationship, but just, when you meet someone, you're like, oh, wow, this person is so fantastic. Why aren't you doing greater things? So that's kind of what I mean. It's not even like the dating piece of it, but growth can happen within a relationship, but growth can't be the entry requirement. Like, as you are today, I have to be comfortable with who you are. I don't want to be resentful or bitter because you didn't grow into this person that I thought in my head that you could be, rather, instead of like appreciating the person as you are today. So that's something that's a personal thing, not even to do with anyone else, but something that I need to keep in check as I'm going through these dating streets. The next thing, seventh thing that I'm doing differently is keeping it breezy and just keeping my life. This is more of a reaffirmation. Thankfully, I've never had the displeasure of being sucked into someone else's life. I'm pretty good about having a line where, hey, you do your thing, you have your hobbies, I have my hobbies. We'll link up and go out on dates and hang out, but I'm not going to be absorbed into your life where I'm doing everything and I'm with you all the time. And I hope you're not the same type with me, because I'm going to need my space and you're going to need your space. I'm not reorganizing my schedule for someone that I just met, especially because it baffles my mind when I'm on these dating forums or with other women talking about their experiences, and they're talking about, oh yeah, I reorganized my life, I did this, I did that, and then they weren't even like official, they weren't even exclusive. I'm like, girl, you're crazy. Why would you invite this man to live with you after only like 5 days? You're insane. You are not well. But I'm not centering my world around their availability, not disappearing into their life. I still have my routines, my friendships, my work, my joy, the things that I love to do. And so if someone fits into that naturally, great. But if not, definitely don't want to force it. Connection should definitely enhance your life, not consume it. And I would say the last thing that I'm doing, and it's probably like one of the biggest things, overarching things, is staying positive about love in general. If you've been on social media, it can make dating feel bleak. You, I tell you, it's because there's no drama in my life. I love going on to, are we dating the same guy groups for my area, and just hearing stories on Instagram or TikTok. And you've seen the long, like, 50-part series on TikTok talking about who did I marry, who am I in a relationship with. So you can see all those toxic things, and it can really make you think that, okay, you know what? Love is for the birds. Love is not for me. But everyone has a horror story. Everyone has an opinion. But I truly believe that social media amplifies the extremes in a lot of things. But when you take a step back, when you put your phone down and you go out and touch grass and you just interact with people in the everyday world, people are still meeting. They're still choosing each other. They're still building healthy and loving relationships. So that's what I'm approaching dating, with optimism, not with cynicism. I'm not naive about it either, but I do believe that the energy you bring into dating often shapes what you experience. And I don't want to have that. Again, there's just so much negativity in the world, where I do believe that there is someone out there for everyone. And it's just a matter of finding your person. Worst case scenario, again, in my head, I'm like, worst case scenario, I find another friend. Best case scenario, I find the person that I can do life with. But for closing thoughts, for me, is, again, not about doing anything truly different or doing more, but it's just doing things differently, rather. Having clear standards, the honest conversations, looking at the person as they are today, not the potential, and then just not rushing and just staying rooted in myself and having fun. I really do think meeting different people, it's a fun experience. I love when I go out on dates and then I can come back and tell my friends, like, girl, that was a wild time. This person, he's a great guy. Not for me, but he's a fun time. Or, girl, I heard the craziest story today. Let me tell you about it. So just meeting people is fun in general. So dating, I always want to say, be optimistic and just go into it with eyes open and just with an open mind, and just see who you might run into. It's a very fun thing. I think it's interesting. But that's all I have for you today. This is for all the single folks out there. What dating tips do you have? Let me know in the comments. We can have probably a kiki on several different things, honestly, of what we've seen out there on these dating streets. But if you're welcome, or if you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. My name is Monie, and I am creating videos for those looking to just redesign a life that fits their aspirations. Topics, as you can see, range a lot of different things, from entrepreneurship, nonprofit management, working a 9-to-5 job, traveling, dating, and everything in between. I've developed playlists now, so if there's a particular topic that you're interested in, just check it out on my channel page. And as I create new videos, I'll just start adding the videos in their appropriate playlists. Other than that, if you enjoy this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. I make videos every day, so I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.